So stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Are you ready or are you sin heavy? Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Minister, Brother Derek. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Peace, everyone. This is Minister Brother Derek. I'm coming at y'all real. And that's what I do. It's really hard to be a Christian in 2020. Yes, it is. Everybody seems to have a double stamp on them. And we don't get no respect in the world. We are considered weak. We are considered soft. We are considered dumb for believing in the book. But yet these people have no moral. And you see where the world is going to. We get no credit. So this is for those who are hanging, who are remaining, who are thinking on the Jesus. Let's get it. Every day I dance before the Lord. So I stay connected to Jesus like an extension cord. I walk upon a stripe as long as my name is in the book of life. Let my light shine. Let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my guide. And if he lets me live another day, I'll continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop sinning, come to God and start winning. I roll with the Lord who is in control. Heaven is my goal, this earth is a personal level. I help my fellow man deal with the devil. He's a liar, he's a fraud. His desire is to keep me away from my God. The most people I come off as righteous, but if tempted, I might just do a few of the things that God can't stand. He frowns on every day. I've been reborn, I've been hit with many opportunities. I cannot remain in unity with the Holy Father. Sometimes I wonder, is it really a bother? I remain devout, but it feels like I'm missing out. Most of the people that I meet who lie, steal and cheat, seem content, while Christians like me, our time is spent struggling. It should be the other way around. I'm not complaining, but how can you tell someone who's living it up to give it up when they're posted high? Doing right is a headache. There's got to be a better road to take. You know, a middle ground between Jesus and Satan. I know who to follow. See, I'm not debating for what I'm waiting for. Satan is winning the battle, but God is winning the war. Every day I dance before the Lord, so I stay connected to Jesus like an extension cord. I walk around the stripe as long as my name is in the book of life. So let my light shine, let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my guide, and if he lets me live another day, I'll continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop saying that, come to God and start winning. I roll with the Lord, who is in control. Getting to heaven is my goal. This earth is the first level. I help my fellow man deal with the devil. He's a liar, he's a fraud. His desire is to keep me away from my God. There's a struggle every day to stay on course. I'm behind the enemy line, so I use the word of God as my force, my resource. Becoming immune to the negativity that surrounds me. The devil has a bounty on my head. Sometimes I dread coming outdoors. I feel like I've been drafted for war. But it's okay, the devil can play his mind game, but he can't hurt me where it counts. That's spiritually. He tries to distract me physically, financially, but these things don't mean jack to me. I turn my back to thee. It's not easy. It's in man, niggas could be greedy. So I always want what we can't have. A material giving nothing to me. Hey, don't make me laugh. A spiritual event, what the difference is all show. Cause both of these men will take me where I got to go. But if I cheat or steal, then I lose God's protection. For a house, for election, you'll be under the direction of a sick demon. Whose goal is to own my soul. No thanks, I roll with the Lord who is in control. Every day I dance before the Lord, so I stay connected to these like an extension cord. I welcome all the strife as long as my name is in the book of life. Let my light shine, let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my God, and if he lets me live another day, I continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish,
Damn what? What?
Minister Brother Derek. Let's get it. Welcome to the Minister Brother Derek Show, and I am Minister Brother Derek. I just want to say that I love Jesus, and that's the title of this song. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us. Can't get enough. I love my Jesus. But people say to keep it real. But here's the deal. If you're not saved, you're missing out. If you're not born again, your future is in doubt. Your body wasn't made to last. When your time comes, it will be reduced to ash. Your flesh will rot, but your light will not. You know your soul will go on forever, so you better realize that you need God, or you will be surprised by the pain of a flame that never goes out. The pits of hell, where the heat swells up, there's no relief, not for a moment of peace. The agony and cries never cease. And someone in the background singing, burn, baby, burn. This isn't normal. Burn, baby, burn. I'm a walking inferno. But seriously, though, this will happen if Jesus comes back and finds you napping. See, no one knows the time of day. But if you follow the word, it won't matter anyway. Because in heaven, no one will ever be sick or shed a tear. So in this realm, I show no fear. What you gonna do? Kill me? Make me a martyr? Give me a head start? Put me on the fast track? So keep macking, keep stacking, keep on shacking up. But get caught napping and the jig is up. And I just want to say, I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let that devil deceive us. I love you, Jesus. If you think that witnessing to your neighbors is weird, think of foreign countries with statues of idols are revered. Nations of people who don't know God, only mythical characters like a Babel or Zod. Most Americans believe in one God, one superior being. Christians should be sworn of souls by the million, but we spend our time fulfilling the desires of our flesh. We won't give Jesus our best effort, but we ask for blessings that we don't deserve. And you wonder why our prayers are not heard. In church, you put down those you really admire. You know you have a desire to make that easy money. Drive the fancy car. You feel like a star. When you enter the bars or clubs, deep down, your spirit isn't for God or his ways. So why should anybody listen to a darn thing you say? I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. Let the Holy Spirit lead us. And one more time. I love you, Jesus. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get to the Bible study. The Minister, Brother Derek Show. Let's get it. Welcome to the Sunday sermon, everyone. This is Brother Derek, Minister Brother Derek. And, you know, I want to come to you. And I want to tell you things that you can use and things that'll get you to have a connection with Jesus and God. So I wrote this. So I hope y'all enjoy it. So let's get to it. St. John wrote that Satan accuses us believers before God day and night. The Lord depends on us to do what is right. But our flesh is not tough enough to stand alone. We lean on Jesus so that we're no longer prone. See, if you're slack, you're vulnerable to attack. In many ways, men today are enslaved to the greediness of his flesh. Money, women, and cars, sports, pornography, and bars. But these are the things that God hates. So he separates and chastises us till we change our ways, humble ourselves, and pray. Remember, the house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, your creed or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. And that's good to know that God loves us all, black and white, short or tall. He only asks us to be more like him. Then you won't want to sin. Let God into your heart and make a fresh start. You have a clean slate. Jesus' blood makes you pure in God's eyes. So stay vigilant and keep the evil at this world at a distance. Ignore the devil's resistance. Keep hoping that you slip. He chips away at your faith and strips away from God's grace. But cling to Jesus, he'll mediate on your behalf. The devil has many demons on his staff, scowling, shouting things in your ear, chipping away at your self-esteem while you daydream. So be alert, stay close to the Father, and tell Satan and his armies, man, don't even bother. But I say this, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace. I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, your creed or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. People are talking about struggling, saying life is hard, rough, you got to be tough. But there's nothing harder than standing up to God. Evil is rampant. Even in our nation today, morality is gone. That's why our society says no right or wrong. Fulfill your wants, go along with the crowd, or feel the wrath of that storm. This country's going to hell in a basket, no a casket. And if you speak, you're labeled a fanatic, a Bible quoting, scripture quoting do-gooder, who's living in a fantasy world, waiting for a heaven that never comes. But God's will be done. You can't stop it. You're on the wrong side. Swallow your pride and humble yourself. Ignore the traps of this world. Study the word and let the knowledge unfurl. Because I'm telling you, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. This is Minister Brother Derek, and this is the new theme song for our Sunday sermon in the Bible study. Peace, everybody. Much love to you. Alrighty, y'all. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry, I'm running behind schedule. I dozed off. My bad. Pull us up here. My ad. There I am. So let's start that screen share. Here's the link if anybody want to say hi. Let me go ahead and post the link. Yes, she did. So how's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Wednesday Bible study. I forgot to get something to drink. Doggone it. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I started the music. I didn't even have my shirt on yet. But somebody didn't have a wrench on their new channel. See? And so I've been sitting here trying to figure out how to get her a wrench. The link she sent me, it didn't accept it at first. Am I starting again? No, you starting again. You got your wrench. Come on in here. I've been working hard for the past 10 minutes to get it for you. Come on in and stop causing the problem. I didn't get to go to the bathroom. I didn't get to get no water. I'm so concerned about getting you the wrench. Hey, Ned. I'm going to go watch Netflix. When I go watch somebody else. Stop it. Our topic today is why are people leaving the church? Some people have left in droves. What are some reasons that people have left the church? I can give you several reasons. Some people was out of habit. Their parents went, their grandparents went. The same way some people still vote Republican because their parents vote Republican and their grandparents voted Republican. They went out of habit. But as families started breaking up with divorce, people started divorcing other people who didn't go to church. And then that became a problem because I can tell you right now, if you go to most Baptist churches, you'll see women in there, you see very few men. Because the women have actually met up with half-dead dudes that won't go to church. So you see a bunch of women sitting in there, and they all fighting over the same men. The men have given up on the church because they don't see the church doing nothing for the community. Also, social media is a reason why people don't go to church anymore. Some people go to church online, like we're doing now. Some people have got into online cults and they're pulled away from the church. And now they show up for their online sessions. Another reason that people don't go to church is they don't see a reason to. What am I going to go to church for? You going to tell me everything going to get better and it get worse? You going to tell me all I got to do is believe and yet I don't see no result? I think the biggest reason why people don't attend church is the actual clergy. People are tired of them telling them, even though it's what they want to hear. They tired of being told, keep on doing what you're doing, but they don't get no results. They don't have a relationship with Jesus, Because they're not being taught they have one. They've been taught, hey, if you tell me all I got to do is believe in Jesus and I'm going to heaven, that's what I got to go to church for. I believe. You tell me all I got to do is believe. So I believe. I don't need to come no more. I believe. Well, I gotta go sit in that stuffy church for. I can stay home and watch the game. I can go ahead and do what I want to do. I'm just saying. I was trying to adjust the antenna today and I broke it. So if we have any hiccups, let me know, y'all. You got people that really believe I don't need to go to church. I've been told, hey, I believe in Jesus Christ. And there you go. I ain't got to do nothing else. I can just go. I ain't got to go to church for. Well, I got to listen to you tell me about him when you already told me I believe in him. I'm going to heaven. No, it's not you, dear. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Like I was saying, also, people are not staying together. You know, as I'm with you today, and then I'm with you tomorrow, and I'm with the lady down the street next week. If those people are not in the church, and you start messing with all these people, they're going to start to draw you away. What are you going to church for? Come on, hang with me. What you going to church for? Let's go do something. Let's go to a movie. Let's go to a play. Let's go to the museum. What you going to church for? You know, I ain't going. That was the one thing that used to trip me out with my lady friend, how she would tell me how I'm not a minister, but she ain't been in church in like 40 years. I ain't been in church since she was a little girl. Only time she go to church is for a funeral. I've been trying to get her to go to church for daggone 15 years. She won't go. But she had the gall to tell me I'm not a real minister. I don't feel good when you preach. I'm like, hold on, you say I'm freezing? Wait a minute. What the heck am I freezing for? Hold on a second. Because we on what the comms? Hold on a second. We doing 96. Okay, then let's just switch. All right, y'all, we're gonna switch over for a second. We're gonna switch the band too. Be right back. Crap. No, we on. All right. We on band two. All right, how we looking now? We just switched the band two. We just switched over to band two. All right. So how we doing now? Okay. Oh, it looked like the bars just dropped down again. Why do the bars Nasdaq? Why do the bars keep dropping down? We gonna get through this sermon if it kills me. What you say here, not gear. Sorry, that fella. I'm noticing that y'all can't see it, but above my head, it shows you how long we've been live, and it shows you the connection. The connection not looking so hot. It keep coming in and out. Anyway, let's get back to the show. NNC says I'm in the garage, so using data. But I noticed that the phone is spinning for some reason. And I'm trying to figure out, why is the phone spinning? Because if those of y'all that watched me last night, y'all know that we had a time last night. Band 2 and Band 13 stopped working, so I was riding to the market. Unbeknownst to me, we weren't connected. When I got to the market and started to chain up the bike, that's when I realized it, and I had to switch to Band 4 because we was on 2, then we went to 13, and then I switched it to Band 4 and it started working. So I don't know what's going on. But we had to go to Band 4. We'll go to Band 4 or Band 5, whichever. But this is crazy. Let me nope. Phone is spinning. I don't understand what's going on. You know, like I said, I tried to fix the antenna and broke it. And so we seem to be in worse position. But anyway, I'm not going to worry about it, you know, because I know it's something far beyond our understanding. something far beyond our understanding. But as long as y'all can hear me and y'all say y'all can, let's get this show done. Like I said, I really believe that as we start to have less of a family nucleus and we start spreading ourselves thin, we let other people talk us and they're not going. Where you going to church for? That's a pretty good idea. Let me scroll up and take a look. Yeah, it's showing all my videos. You're a lot of help. Let's see. Is that spinning also? Yeah, it's spinning. Meet the Press broadcast. Spinning. So, all right, I have an answer for that. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl now. Let me turn the mobile hotspot on and see if that can at least work the phone. Can the mobile hotspot at least work the phone so I can see the chat? Let me go into the settings, Wi-Fi. Connect. All right. Connected to the Wi-Fi. All righty. I think. Okay, that idea seemed to work. We got the hotspot. We got the phone on a mobile hotspot. Just out of curiosity, I want to do a speed test. All righty, I went and did a speed test. I see what the problem is. Speed test is trash. I'm telling you right now. They got to the third to get their act together, or I'm going back to Metro. I'm being honest with you. If they got to the third to get their act together, I'm going back to Metro. Dead serious. We didn't need no antenna. They might have throttled us, but we didn't need no antenna. We going back to Metro. I'm gonna go up in there and see what kind of new phone they got for free, and we'll go ahead and spend the money, and we'll go ahead and just get a new phone. 'Cause I'm sick of this. Having an unlimited hotspot is nice, but you can only have it on one device at a time. Whatever. For those of y'all that don't realize the value of the unlimited, that means that we can go do the live streams and not have to worry about running out of data. But I'm to the point now where we'll go ahead and get the app back, and we'll go ahead and connect. We'll connect another phone to the app and let that run. You know, that we'll let that run the data. If we had to go back to that, that's what we'll go back to. But I mean, this was getting ridiculous. Well, my company is owned by Verizon. I'm on a prepaid version of Verizon. And Verizon, I mean, it's one day it's working, the next day it ain't. But for some reason, lately, it's just been trash. Ever since I moved, I haven't got the speeds that I've gotten since we moved. With the antenna, we were getting 30, 40 down, and we were getting 13 up. Now, we can't even get 5 down, and we lucky to get 3 up. And I got the antenna space, got them placed further apart, and yet we doing worse. And it seems like every week that I sit here, it don't get better. It seems like it get worse. But yeah, they say we got all 4 bars, but it's not translating into when we sit here and work. What's the purpose of having all 4 bars and you're only doing 3 megabit data? That's all I'm saying. Like, what's the difference? So that's why I say I'm not going to worry myself. If I put the antenna outside the window behind me, then I got to move. You have to realize it's an inside antenna and an outside antenna. The inside antenna, I had it up there, I had it over there. Now I got it behind me. Outside antenna is to the farthest window away, all the way back in the bedroom. I actually got it up and I got it pinned outside the window. And I'm just trying to figure out why the reception, which should be better, because you could not, I don't think you could go at a 25-foot anywhere. From the bathroom to the bedroom, from the end of the kitchen to the corner of the bedroom. I don't know if you could get 25 feet. They want them to be 50, they say 25 to 50 feet apart, or have the inside antenna below the outside antenna. So I got the outside antenna hanging out the window, way in my bedroom. And I got the other antenna sitting here below this window on the floor. So as far as height level as I can get it, and as far away and distance as I can get it, we should be booming sitting here. But for some reason, the speeds are trash. It's like we doing worse. They say they're supposed to be far apart. And here's the weird part. Sometimes I go in the bedroom, I get better reception in the bedroom where the outside antenna is than sitting in here with the inside antenna, which is something I can't figure out. But like I said, it's either invest in another antenna and keep fooling with these Verizon people, or just go back to Metro. They got a tower right there. I ain't got to do nothing. Put which antenna out the window? Because I can put this antenna out the window. I can hang it out the window right now. It look retarded, but I can hang it out the window right now. I was just saying, I can hang that boy out the window right now. That signal around the corner and around to the other antenna. But NNC had a good point. I'll try it out right now. Let me play a song for you. I'll try this right now. We haven't played that yet. That ain't going on. But ain't on that picture. That won't go out. Maybe it's going out. Not going out. What is it? All righty. Let's go see if it made a difference. Wait a minute, I'm doing this the wrong way. Go to share screen. Share. You know, you can bring me back into view. You know, you ain't got to take me totally out. I need to turn the light back on. So let's take a look real quick. Speed test. Look at that. Look at that. 34. Really? 0.30. Not even 1 megabit. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's try something different. Let's go back to band 13. The antenna is optimized. So let's wait. All right, are we back live? All right, we back live. Let me let's go back in. Give me a refresh. All right, we on band 13. Still doing trash. Ain't doing no better. Well, trash. All right, I'm done. I don't care anymore. We going to Metro. I'm done. Jump in the lake, Verizon. Keep saying you got unlimited, yet you keep throttling us. It's 10:42 at night. Look at them speeds. And the snow was gone. So don't tell me it's the snow. I gave it a pass on the snow. I turned the light off so that people couldn't see me. I got to turn it back on. Y'all see me? Let me see. Yeah, y'all can see me. I need to shave. Top and bottom. I got that antenna wrapped in aluminum foil and got it in a frying pan. Hey, Davey, move. Move. That antenna broke right there. Don't go over there. Give me something to throw at that cat. What I tell you to do? Move. Move. The only thing that's holding the outside antenna to the booster is some Gorilla Tape. And Davey over there messing with it. Saw me fiddling with it early, so that means she got to go over there and investigate. And you don't come right back. I threw the box that these came in at her, and now she over there messing with the box. Some should jump out and bite you. I get back to the show. That's a beautiful picture that you sent. But I'm not going to have no insubordination. We're going to keep this place in tip-top condition. Ain't nobody getting in the way. And we're going to go on eBay tomorrow and try to find a booster. Or switch phone companies. Anyway, get back to the show, y'all. Our topic today was, what are some reasons that y'all think that people are leaving the church? Some people are leaving the religion. And it's happening in droves. Why don't people feel they need to go to church anymore? Have they been told they don't need to? Yeah, but she's saying me fiddle with that thing for a year. And she know better. Why she gotta touch whatever I touch? I'm gonna break out that habit. Curiosity killed the cat. Remember that phrase? She's a living example of it. Curiosity kills the cat. Stay in your lane. All right, let's go to our first article. Are you friggin' serious? That was my fault, y'all. One minute. Lord, Lord, Lord. All right, let's try this again. All right, can y'all see this on y'all screen? Because I could have sworn that I had this here before, and I don't understand what happened. Somehow we got knocked off. And I ain't gonna moan and groan, but I ain't happy. All right, let's get back here. Where were we at? Those aren't the reasons people are leaving the church. They aren't the problem, church. You are the problem. Let me elaborate in 5 ways. Number 1, your Sunday productions are worn thin. The stage and the lights and the bands and the video screens have all just become white noise to those really seeking the account of God. They're ear and eye candy for an hour, but they have so little relevance in people's daily lives that more and more of them are taking the path. Yeah, the songs are cool and the show is great, but ultimately Sunday morning isn't really making a difference on Tuesday afternoon or Thursday evening when people are wrestling with the awkward, messy, painful stuff in the trenches of life. The places where the rock shows don't help. We can be entertained anywhere until you give us something more than a Christian themed performance piece, something that allows us space and breath and conversation and relationship. Many of us are going to sleep in and stay away. You speak in a foreign tongue. Church, you talk and talk and talk, but you do so using a dead language. You're holding on to dusty words that have no resonance in people's ears, not realizing that just saying those words louder isn't the answer. All the religious buzzwords that used to work 20 years ago no longer do. This spiritualized insider language may give you some comfort in an outside world that is changing, but that stuff's just lazy religious shorthand, and it keeps regular people at a distance. They need you to speak in a language they can understand. There's a message there worth sharing, but it's hard to hear above your verbal pyrotechnics. People don't need to be dazzled with big churchy words and about eschatological frameworks and theological systems. Talk to them plainly about love and joy and forgiveness and death and peace and God, and they'll be all ears. Keep up the church speak, and you'll be talking to an empty room soon. This is one of the things that I was talking about that day when Gisela was here. How I said that Gisela was more, she was more refined in how she preaches, but that refined does not translate to today. I'm more raw. People 30, 40 years ago might have responded to that precise form of teaching. But people have technology and they think they know everything. So you got to grab their attention and hold them with words they understand. When you start using them big words and start saying family and the children of God, and people looking at you like, what? You got to talk to the people, not at the people. You have to talk to them. You have to tell them not what they already can read, not what they already can see. Tell them what's special about what they reading. Tell them why they should drop everything they doing and jump on this rather than talking over them with big words. People think, there's a YouTuber in our sector. He's forever correcting somebody's grammar. But the people understand that broken grammar more than the correction that you give. Come down to the people's level and preach to them so that they understand everything. Because I can tell you, when a child is sitting in the church, they don't understand the words that you're saying. But if they get older and they still don't understand the words that you're saying, that child not going to stay in the church. Somebody asked me to enlarge the screen. We'll take it up 2 notches. How's that? Can you see it now? You speak over the people, over their heads, with big words. It's like going to watch a scientist give a speech. You don't understand what he's talking about? You need somebody to come back and break it down for you. But that scientist smile in your face and think he look all good, and they don't realize people don't only understood a third of what he said. And then when people start making videos or start writing essays about it, he's like, that's not what I said. They go, oh, that's what I thought you said. If you're sitting in church and somebody preaching to you, you should never have to think somebody said something. They're just a poor translator, a poor communicator. Using big words and trying to sound like you holy, if you're not reaching the people, you're wasting your time. Family, yes, we are in the bosom of Jesus, and the bosom of Jesus. What? And we got to go, and we got to tripulate, and we got to capitulate, and we got to transcend and transmit and come down on those who don't know. What? Imagine you outside. Come here so I can transdipulate you. Come over here and let me supplementalate you. Come on over here. But they still using them big words. No, people don't understand what the hell they're saying. They try to sound so professional while they're doing it. Yes. Uh-huh. And the people sitting there looking at their phones, texting, talking to each other. They ain't paying the daggone minutes no mind. Because he's not talking at them. This spiritualized and subtle language may give you some comfort in an outside world that is changing, but that stuff's just lazy religious shorthand, and it keeps regular people at a distance. They need you to speak in a language they can understand. There's a message there worth sharing, but it's hard to hear above your verbal pyrotechnics. I remember when I first came into the sector, and I came across Sinetta. and I came across Young Pharaoh. And if y'all remember, Young Pharaoh was on that Women is God stuff. And I started to watch the pro-blacks. And one thing I noticed, they had this code, but the code didn't say anything. They had a code. And it was always the man trying to hold you back. And they would use words that were Moorish or words that were Egyptian. And they would use these words to try to make you feel important about yourself. But most of the people listening didn't know what the heck he was talking about. But they wanted to feel like they were part of the association. And they would pretend. But when you look at the chat, you notice the people didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And so I never watched them again because for what? And it just seemed like it was just more of, you know, come on, watch us debate, pay some money for your ticket, come shop with the vendors, and then go about your business. And, you know, people that came there looking for help or knowledge, then they didn't get it. They found out about what some people did 4,000 years ago that failed, what happened 2,000 years ago that failed. But they didn't learn nothing about what they could do right now. So now they're failing. And I thought that was the stupidest movement I ever saw in my life. But the people are sitting there, yes, we're conscious. What are you conscious of? You know you're failing, and you consciously know that. You're not going to change anything, and you consciously acknowledge that. You're not going to make a difference. You consciously acknowledge that. The conscious movement is full of crap. And I call that out from everybody else. People try to mesmerize you with big words. I'm not impressed by big words because I wonder if you know what they mean. When you start using big words, I wonder if you just think it make you sound more intelligent, but do you even know how to use them? I remember when I used to write my poems, I used to try to put big words in it. And the teacher said, why do you have a talent for just telling a story from the view of somebody watching it? Why are you trying to put these big words in here and muddle it up? And ever since then, I've tried to not use big words. But every once in a while, I'll use some. Like I'm feeding you knowledge to your cerebral membranes. Don't know what that means. Now that's a damn shame. That should make you want to go look up what the hell is a cerebral membrane. But most people that watch the wrestling would know that they call Triple H the cerebral assassin. So everybody know that cerebral mean brain in some way. So you can kind of figure out what it is. I didn't throw a bunch of words at you. But I like to stack up words, but not like that, you know. Satan is waiting, baiting, tempting me with temptation. It's hard to resist, so I depend on the gift of the Holy Spirit. Simple. But notice how the words are all pushed in there. Notice how the words are pushed in there, but you can understand what I'm saying. But if I tried to come with some big words, you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Even if they rhyme, you don't know what they mean? What good is it? That's why I like doing the main on the coronavirus. Because there are so many words that rhyme with Maine. I'll be trying to squeeze them in there. It's a pain to live in Maine. Everything is the same. It's mundane. It's so boring, it'll leave you snoring. It's a strain to live in Maine. I threw all the rhymes in there, but I didn't throw a rhyme in there you couldn't understand. You had to go, what the hell did I just say? Now, maybe mundane might get somebody. That's the only word in there, mundane, but everybody knows mundane means boring. The same old, but some people might go, what the heck is a mundane? But you don't have time to think on it because I'm already going on with even more rhymes that you understand. So even if you had got stuck for a quarter of a second, you right back into the song. But if I loaded it up with constrain and membrane and neophane, and people be like, what the heck is Bo Derek talking about? You know? Somebody just said that daughter-in-law is from Maine. It don't matter where they from Maine or not. The fact is, so many things rhyme with it that I was able to just freestyle a song, and then every time we do it, I get to memorize it. Just like with the theme song. The theme song didn't have lyrics. Remember, it had lyrics. Y'all didn't want them, remember? It had lyrics. Y'all told me to stop saying them. So the theme song, it just breaks. You know, the theme song, it just breaks. They are actually words. Y'all didn't want the words, remember? So that's why I say, you know, because some states, you know, I'm thinking about trying to add something for Texas and trying to add something for the other states. I haven't been able to find that song New Yorker. Remember that song? You're a native New Yorker. I can't remember the words. I'm a native New Yorker. You know, ever since my rocket got rated, I haven't been able to get the songs for free. But I guess you can find it on YouTube if you look. But I need to find I need to pick a 4-line verse from Native New Yorker. We'll do that for New York. Ah, crap. Somebody sent me something that went away. A little cry. Okay. Or that cray. Is that cry or cray? You let me know. We're short for crazy. Down south, do y'all say cry or cray? You're like, dang, man. You know, you're a little cry. People don't need to be dazzled with big churchy words about eschatological frameworks and theological systems. Talk to them plainly about love and joy and forgiveness and death and peace and God, and they'll be all ears. Keep up the church speak, and you'll be talking to an empty room soon. Number 3, your visions can't see past your building. The coffee bar, the cushy couches, the high-tech lights, the funky children's wing, and the uber cool teen center are all top-notch and costly. In fact, most of the time, money and energy seems to be about luring people to where you are instead of reaching people who are already there. Rather than simply stepping out into the neighborhoods around you and partnering with the amazing things already happening and the beautiful stuff God is already doing, you seem content to franchise out your particular brand of Jesus stuff and wait for the sinful world to beat down your door. Your greatest mission field is just a few miles or a few feet off your campus, and you don't even realize it. You want to reach the people you're missing? Leave the building. Four, you choose lousy battles. We know you like to fight, church. That's obvious. When you want to, you can go to war with the best of them. The problem is your battles are too darn small. Fast food protests, hobby store outrage, and duck calling reality TV show campaigns may manufacture some urgency and Twitter activity on the inside for the already convinced. But they're paper tigers, the people out there with bloody boots on the ground. Every day we see a world suffocated by poverty and racism and violence and bigotry and hunger. And in the face of that stuff, you get awfully frighteningly quiet. We wish you were as courageous in those fights, because then we feel like coming alongside you. Then we feel like going to war with you. Church, we need to stop being warmongers with the rival and pacifists in the face of the terrible. Wait a minute. Does it continue? This continue? Because I thought they said 5 things. I thought it said 5 things. All right, here we go. 5. Your love doesn't look like love. Love seems to be a pretty big deal to you, church, but we're not getting into whether the rubber meets when the rubber meets the road. In fact, more and more, your brand of love seems incredibly selective and decidedly narrow, filtering out all of the spiritual riffraff, which sadly includes far too many of us. It feels like a big bait and switch sucker deal advertising as a come as you are party, but letting us know once we're in the door that we really can't come as we are. We see a Jesus in the Bible who hung out with the lowlifes and the prostitutes and the outcasts and loved them right there. But that doesn't seem to be your cup of tea. Church, can you love us if we don't check all the doctrinal boxes and don't have our theology all figured out? It doesn't seem so. Can you love us if we cuss and drink and get tattoos? And God forbid, vote Democrat. We're doubtful. Can you love us if we're not sure how we define love and marriage in heaven and hell? It sure doesn't feel that way. From what we know about Jesus, we think he looks like love. The unfortunate thing is you don't look much like him. That's part of the reason people are leaving the church. These words may get you really, really angry, and you might want to jump in a knee-jerk move to defend yourself or attack these positions line by line. But we hope you won't. We hope that you'll just sit in stillness with these words for a while, because whether you believe you're right or wrong, they're real to us, and that's the whole point. We're the ones walking away. We want the matter to you. We want you to hear us before you debate us. Show us that your love and your God are real. Church, give us a reason to stay. It's you. It's not you. It's me. That's what you seem to be saying, church. I try to share my heart with you, the heart of me and thousands of people like me who are walking away, to let you know the damage you're doing and the painful legacy you're leaving. And apparently you're not the problem, which of course is still a problem. I relayed my frustration with your insider religious rhetoric, and you corresponded by cutting and pasting random scripture sound bites about the bride of Christ and the blood of the Lamb, insisting that the real issue is simply my biblical ignorance and suggesting that I just need to repent and get a good concordance, whatever that is. That's the big Bible. I let you know how judged and ridiculed I feel when I'm with you, how much like a hopeless, failing outsider I feel on the periphery of your often inward judgmental communities. And you proceed to tell me how lost I am, how hopelessly in love with my sin I must be to leave you, reminding me that I never really belong with you in any way. In the face of the compliant and every grievance, you made it clear that the real issue is that I'm either sinful, heretical, immoral, foolish, unenlightened, selfish, consumerist, or ignorant. Heck, many days, I'm not even sure I disagree with you. Maybe you're right, church. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe it's me, but me is all I'm capable of being right now, and that's where I was really hoping you would meet me. All righty. Anybody have any comments? Anybody have any comments? Anybody want to call up and get their opinion? No, but thank you. Y'all were talking about getting StreamYard for a long time, and nobody want to call up. I just realized something. When I turned the light off, and I opened the curtains up and pulled up the blinds and raised the window and the screen and hung the antenna out the window, I forgot something. I literally forgot something. I forgot to turn the light back on. Y'all see how dark it is in here? Yeah. Actually, it's not that bad. I got a light right here. Hey. And it's a light hanging over there. But actually, it looked kind of spooky, don't it? Coming to get you. And you can see Bud Duck says, how can you trust the church? How can you trust the church after all the lawsuits against them? Well, that's mainly the Catholic Church. We already know the Catholic Church ain't wrote 2 pieces, did he? We already know that. Catholic Church ain't wrote 2 pieces of crap on a hat. We already know that. Everybody know that. Y'all know that they crooked. You know it. Don't act like you don't know. You know good and well. Nia says the Vatican has the most lawsuits. You know good and well. I don't understand why they don't let people get married. Why don't they let the nuns marry the priests? And in that way, you ain't got all that tomfoolery. Would anybody like to call in? Anybody here Catholic? Somebody call in and tell me, why can't the nuns marry the priests? And that way, the nuns ain't got to mess with nobody, and the priests ain't got to mess with nobody. They'll have their own. Because tell me why God need wives. And if God intended for us to get married and have children, why shouldn't priests do the same? The priests did it back in Deuteronomy and Leviticus. Why they don't do it now? The priests did it back in Deuteronomy, and Leviticus. Why don't they do it now? Somebody calling his phone. Hold on. Hello? 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 Well, thank you for calling and hanging up, whoever that was. Nia says it will not curb the problem within the church. Those abusing children aren't interested in nuns. Well, some of them that's abusing children might not necessarily be that way, but after 40 years of not getting none, anything might start looking good. They had their own. Maybe they leave the children alone. And why do God need wives? Why do God need wives? What exactly is a nun? Why does God need a wife? A human wife at that. What could a human wife do for God? Let's be honest. Let's keep it real. Stupid. Stupid. Nia said, take the priest from your city of Baltimore. Don't remind me of that, Nia. You know that the first Catholic church in the United States is in Baltimore City. They just renovated it back in 2015, I believe. They just renovated it. That is the oldest church, Catholic church in the United States. And it's at Franklin and wait a minute. It's at Franklin and it's not St. Paul. It's before St. Paul. Would it be Calvert? Would that be Calvert Street? I know it's before St. Paul, because St. Paul is where the hospital is, at the bridge. I think it's Calvert Street. I think it's at Calvert and Franklin Street, if I'm correct. And that's the oldest one. Nia said the sickness of violating children had nothing to do with marrying or being with a woman. There's plenty of women who are with women. Yes, Nia, but you also had a scandal in Africa where the priest was raping the nuns and the nuns was popping out children. If they were allowed to marry, you wouldn't have had that. And I'm sure it's a lot more that's been covered up that's been going on. I'm sure it's been a lot more that's been covered up. Sure, it's a lot more. But I'm saying, why not let the priests have wives? So at least they can stop looking and fawning and wondering. You know, I think that would alleviate some of that. And stop lying. Only Jesus can forgive sins. Priests cannot forgive sins. The Pope cannot forgive your sin. He is a man just like you are. He can't do nothing more than you can do. That's the one thing we got to realize. Preachers, ministers, pastors, clergymen, imams, whatever you want to call them, they just have supposedly a calling. That's what makes them different. They supposedly have a calling. If you have a calling to be a great baker and you make great cakes, if you was meant to be an artist and you design great paintings, you were meant to be an architect and you create nice structures. That's all that is. It ain't no different than you. I don't understand why we give celebrity status to people. I enjoy watching The Rock as a wrestler. He's all right as an actor, but God darn it, that's still Dwayne Johnson. He just got people know who he is and he got money. But he ain't no better than nobody else. I don't understand why y'all sit there and put people on pedestals. You supposed to have Jesus and God on a pedestal, not human beings. Because human beings can't stay on the pedestal. They fall. They fall hard. Frank Joseph Daniels says, please pray for uplifting and joy for my girlfriend Amelia and I in Jesus' name. Well, what's going on, Frank Joseph? Y'all going through something? Y'all got the CV? Y'all lose a child? NNC says prayers, Frank and Amelia. NNC says in Jesus' name, amen. Nia said a prayer request from Frank Joseph Daniels. Jesus in your sweet name. Joseph has not said what they're going through with trials and tribulations. So I'll ask you a general prayer. Keep them uplifted. Keep them inclined to one another. Don't let outside forces break up what they have right now. Give them the strength to get through whatever situation they're dealing with. Whether it be COVID-19, loss of a child, or anything. Keep them together. Keep them bonded in your name so that they can overcome the trials and tests of the demons in this world and of this world. Because they always swirling. Anytime you put two people together, it's a race to set them apart. Anytime you have anything good on this earth, it seems to be a race to take it apart. We got people who don't know which way to turn, don't know which way to go. Everything they try to believe in that's not you falls apart. But bless everyone here that took the time to watch this Bible study. You said that when two people come together, you are here. So I know you are here watching this. And I hope that I'm doing a good job representing you. I'm not no perfect preacher. I'm not no perfect minister, but you chose me anyway. So I can't go by what man say. The fact that you still have the Spirit drive me to come to these shows lets me know that I'm doing right. And I hope that you bless everybody who takes the time when they could be watching the cussing and fussing, that takes the time to come worship your name, when they could be watching the arguing and fighting, when they could be watching the name calling, when they could be watching the Dawson and the doxing, that's what they call it. They hear. The wrestling is on, but they hear. It's probably some kind of sport on, but they hear. So bless us, because we do recognize your power, your stature, and that you are the Son of God. Bless everyone who takes the time. And for this prayer, I highlight Frank and Amelia. Help them through any trouble they may have, and help them stay together and have a nice, long, spiritually and enhanced life. In the sweet name of Jesus, thank you, Lord God, our Father, for all that you give us. Most importantly, for waking us up today. Because if you don't wake us up, we can't do nothing. And people don't take that in consideration. You woke us up. The sun came up today. You do what you say you're going to do every day. I wish that man would do what he say he going to do every day. In your sweet name, amen. Let me set the chat real quick. And NC says, and Nia says, amen. Let's get to our second article. There's a couple of things I want to touch on first from that article. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I picked these at random. And I'll be honest with you, at 7 o'clock, actually 7:30, I believe, was the original time that I set this up. I believe it was 7:35. And I just felt so bad, I wanted to go lay down. But I set the time for 8:30. And I was going to lay down until 8:30, and I was going to come out and do the show. I wound up falling asleep. And people keep hitting me up, and they were saying, hey, why you not live? Said you was going live at 8:30. And so I got up. And while that music was playing, I was running around. I didn't even have my shirt and tie on yet by the time the third song was playing. It was only 4 songs. But and somebody had asked me to set something up for them, but you can't do it on the Hangouts like you do it on the OBS. The OBS, it would have took a couple seconds. But for some reason, and it happened the last time, if y'all remember, when we had took the wrench from what was it, Jesse James? And we tried to give it back and it wouldn't stick. Y'all remember that? I don't know if y'all remember. When we tried it didn't stick. So the wrench didn't stick this time. And we put it in, I put it in 4 times. The 4th time it stuck. But I'm irritated because I'm trying to get myself together here. I ain't got time to fool with that. But I went on and did it anyway. You know, I had to go to the bathroom. I need to get wet my whistle, but I still put the time in. And then the person was saying some of the irritating stuff, you know, and I hope she's not mad at me, but if she is, oh well. You know, was already under pressure. But I'm not going to go there. Wait a minute. Somebody hit something. Yeah, you know something? Ain't nobody hit it in so long, it might not be active. Let me take a look real quick. Hold on a sec. Is it still active? We haven't got a hit on this in it's been a long time. No, it's still here. All right. No, it's still active. Let me find out real quick. Let me come back here and let's go. I didn't know I put one in there. I thought I just put the Cash App. Let me see. So let's take a look. It's showing up. I don't think I put the PayPal in the description. But hold on. Let me see if I can back out. Man, I know I put the Cash App in there. Hold on. It's not gonna let me edit. So let me now it could be the Nightbot. So let's go. Let me put something on here, and we'll go tackle the Nightbot. Is that the same song? And then, that is the same song. So let's go ahead and play that. So are we sharing? No. All right, y'all. We need to go ahead and fix this. All right. Now, let's back out of that. Where's Nightbot? Where you at, Nightbot? All right. So let's start wasting our time. That's good. You can trash that. Delete. I said delete, man. Did I tell you? Ain't nobody gonna buy us no scooter, so delete that. Waste of time. Now, where's the PayPal at? All right. Now, let's go in. Grab that link. Grab that linky dink. Copy. Now, but where's the PayPal? Where's the PayPal? Where's the PayPal? There it is. Hit edit. Man, that's a fast song. All right, now let's delete that. Oh, what are you doing? How you get way over there? Whatever. You know it's not capitalized. I don't know why you're not capitalized. Hold on. Do what? But you keep telling me set the PayPal up. Ain't nobody hitting the PayPal, man. we ain't got a PayPal and sheesh, I don't even remember. Tyrone's still showing on the PayPal. Yeah, I'm showing on the screen. Nobody still ain't gonna hit it. Nobody still gonna hit it. Oops. I'll just put that there. It's just for show. I got a better chance of hitting the lottery than somebody. Paste. All right, now come down. Wait a minute, something ain't right. Why so short? Where's the rest of it? That's not right. Where's the rest of it? Hold on. Where's the rest of it? I know it's longer than that. Something ain't right. It's longer than that. Copy. Let's bring it in some and see what happens. Paste. There it is. All right. There you go. Submit. Now I gotta go to what's the other one? That's the custom. So where's the default? And we gotta no, that's not it. I thought it was other commands. Anyway, all right, let me out of here. The point thing is that we got the right link in there. Okay, get back to the show. It's amazing the stuff that we get into. It's amazing stuff that we get into. For sure. All right, let's get into our next article. All right. Y'all see this on y'all screen? Yes. All right, I took it up 2 notches for you. Millennials are leaving religion and not coming back. Millennials have earned a reputation for reshaping industries and institutions, shaking up the workplace, transforming dating culture, and rethinking parenthood. They've also had a dramatic impact on American religious life. 4 in 10 millennials now say they are religiously unaffiliated, according to the Pew Research Center. In fact, millennials, those between the ages of 23 and 38, are now almost as likely to say they have no religion as they are to identify as a Christian. For a long time, though, it wasn't clear whether this youthful defection from religion would be temporary or permanent. It seemed possible that as millennials grew older, at least some would return to a more traditional religious life. But there's mounting evidence that today's younger generations may be leaving religion for good. They saying, the heck with this. The heck with this. Social science has long suggested that Americans' relationship with religion has a tidal quality. People who were raised religious find themselves drifting away as young adults, only to be drawn back in when they find spouses and begin to raise their own families. Some argue that young adults hadn't yet been pulled back into the fold of organized religion, especially since they were hitting major milestones like marriage and parenthood later on. But how many millennials have spouses, children, and mortgages? And there's little evidence of a corresponding surge in religious interest. A new national survey from the American Enterprise Institute of more than 2,500 Americans found a few reasons why millennials may not return to the religious fold. For one thing, many millennials never had strong ties to religion to begin with, which means they were less likely to develop habits or associations that make it easy to return to a religious community. Young adults are increasingly likely to have a spouse who is non-religious, which may help reinforce that secular worldview. Changing views about the relationship between morality and religion also appear to have convinced many young parents that religious institutions are simply irrelevant or unnecessary for their children. Millennials may be the symbols of a broader societal shift away from religion, but they didn't start it on their own. Their parents are at least partly responsible for a widening generation gap in religious identity and beliefs. They were more likely than previous generations to raise their children without any connection to organized religion. According to the AEI survey, 17% of millennials said they were not raised in any particular religion, compared with only 5% of baby boomers. And fewer than 1 in 3, 32% millennials said they attended weekly religious services with their family when they were young, compared to with about half, 49% of baby boomers. A parent's religious identity or lack thereof can do a lot to shape a child's religious habits and beliefs later in life. A 2016 Pew Research Center study found that regardless of the religion, those raised in households in which both parents shared the same religion still identified with that faith in adulthood. For instance, 84% of people raised by Protestant parents are still Protestant as adults. Similarly, people raised without religion are less apt to look for it as they grow older. That same Pew study found that 63% of people who grew up with 2 religiously unaffiliated parents were still non-religious as adults. But one finding in the survey signals that even millennials who grew up religious may be increasingly unlikely to return to religion. In the 1970s, most non-religious Americans had a religious spouse, and often that partner would draw them back into regular religious practice. But now a growing number of unaffiliated Americans are settling down with someone who isn't religious, a process that may have been accelerated by the sheer number of secular romantic partners available. And the rise of online dating today, 74% of unaffiliated millennials have a non-religious partner or spouse, while only 26% have a partner who is religious. All right. Luke Olanoff, a 30-year-old man living in Atlanta, says that he and his wife gradually shed their religious affiliations together. My family thinks she's convinced me to stop going to church, and the family thinks I was the one who convinced her, he said. But it was mutual. We moved to a city and talked a lot about how we came to see all of this negativity from people who were highly religious and increasingly didn't want part in it. This view is common among young people, a majority, 57% of millennials. Hold on. You wait till now to start dying, huh? Where we at? Many young adults no longer see religion as a necessary or even desirable component of parenting. Less than half, 46% of the millennials believe it's necessary to believe in God to be moral. There's also much less likely than baby boomers to say that it's important for children to be brought up in a religion so they can learn good values, 57% versus 75%. These attitudes are reflected in decisions about how young adults are raising their children. 45% of millennial parents say they take them to religious services, and 39% say they send them to Sunday school or religious education program. Baby boomers, by contrast, were significantly more likely to send their children to Sunday school, 61%, and to take them to church regularly, 58%. Mandy, a 32-year-old woman living in Southern California who was asked that her last name not be used, grew up going to church regularly but is no longer religious. She told us she's not convinced a religious upbringing is what she'll choose for her 1-year-old child. My own upbringing was religious, but I've come to believe that you can get important moral teachings outside religion, she said. And in some ways, I think many religious organizations are not good models for these teachings. Why does it matter if millennials' rupture with religion turns out to be permanent? For one thing, religious involvement is associated with a wide variety of positive social outcomes, like increased interpersonal trust and civic engagement, that are hard to reproduce in other ways. And this trend has obvious political implications. As we wrote a few months ago, whether people are religious is increasingly tied to and even driven by their political identities. For years, the Christian conservative movement has warned about a tide of rising secularism, but researchers suggested that the strong association between religion and the Republican Party may actually be fueling this divide. And if even more Democrats lose their faith, that will only exacerbate the acrimonious rift between secular liberals and religious conservatives. At that critical moment when people are getting married and having kids and their religious identity is becoming more stable, Republicans mostly do still turn to religion. It's Democrats that aren't coming back, said Michelle Margolis, author of From Politics to Pews, How Partisanship and the Political Environment Shape Religious Identity, in an interview. Of course, millennials' religious trajectory isn't set in stone. They may yet become more religious as they age, but it's easier to return to something familiar later in life than to try something completely new. And if millennials don't return to religion, instead begin raising a new generation with no religious background, the gulf between religious and secular Americans may grow even deeper. Anybody have any comments? Whew. Whew. Anybody have any comments or questions on the topic of the day? Why are people leaving the church? Why are people leaving religion? Okay. All right. Any questions before we switch? Any questions before we switch? And I can get this tie. All right, then. Let me play something. There ain't nothing religious in this. What you going? Then let me out then. Do 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 do. All righty. All righty. The Bible study is over. So let's get back. Y'all see Iron Chains? Hey, I got a 5 on my shirt. What is that? That's out of him. All right. That was up there all that time. Wait a minute. Let me show Nia. And then, okay. My fault, my bad, y'all. So, went and put the minister hat back on. All right. See that shadow back? I need to shave. But anyway, let's get to the news. Now, we had an issue last night. I'm not going to say what it is, but I found a Disciple Brother Derek hangout. And we're going to send the news stories there, and we don't have to worry about it. Share screen. There it is, and share. All right, but you can bring me back now. You can leave me in the picture, all right? Try and help me get flagged when they say I ain't talking with the stories. Right to a daggone commercial. All right, y'all. 47 shots fired in a shooting that left teen girl injured. So you telling me that out of 47 shots, you only hit one teen girl? Oops.
Shot by only one of 47 bullets that were fired in her direction. The car that she was riding in, that got hit by 25 of those bullets. This is video above the stretch of Haverford Avenue where it happened last night. Police say the teen was a passenger in the seat of the car. The driver, a 20-year-old man, was also shot once in the back. They were taken to the hospital where, at last check, the teen is listed in stable condition. The man is listed in critical condition. Now, hours earlier, on Chestnut Street near 62nd in West Philly. A separate and eerily similar shooting unfolded there. A 15-year-old girl and a 20-year-old man were in one of those cars when a gunman opened fire on them. The teen and the driver were both shot once in the head. The 15-year-old is listed in critical condition, and the man is listed in stable condition. There's another common thread here. Investigating officers have not yet been able to make an arrest in either case, and the guns that were used in these shootings, they're still on the street right now. It's one of the reasons why police are asking anyone with information to give them a call. Reporting live outside of police headquarters, I'm Pamela Osborne, NBC 10 News.
I'm sorry, but you can't shoot. 47 rounds, 27 of them go into a car that got a guy and a teenager in it. And both of them still alive. 47 rounds. 27 of the 47 hit the car. And you only hit the guy and the teenager one time. Let that marinate. You must be a sorry shot. When I say sorry, I mean sorry. You need to just get you a bat, get you a club, get the wasp spray, get something. You don't need no gun. Because you ain't got no aim. 47 shots. Only 27 of the 40 shots hit the car. And only 2 of the 47 shots actually hit somebody. That's poor. That's poor. People need to get some training courses you're going to be holding a gun. Instead of just buying them off the street. Go take a daggone gun class. That's number one. But see, luckily, there wasn't no old people around. There wasn't no babies around. Because those will be the ones that get hit. Because they ain't going to hit that target. They're going to hit everybody else innocent. That's number one. Then number 2, you pin a car up against a tree. The car can't go nowhere. It's 2 people in the car. And both of them still alive? Come on, man. What? You got the car pinned against a tree. It can't go nowhere. You got 2 sitting ducks. And you got it pinned in because the tree holding the passenger side door and the car is pushing in the driver's side door. They got nowhere to go. And they still alive? Oh, man. Put down the guns, young people. Learn how to use these. Put the guns down and learn how to use these. Seriously. Seriously. Man. How the heck you don't hit nothing? You don't hit nothing. It's shameful. It's embarrassing. Now, this is sick right here. I'm not a good swimmer. Davey, you be in trouble. Why would she allow her animal to go outside unleashed, knowing? Well, the water ain't that high. Where did the dog go? And she got back out the water. She got him. Good job. Is it too late? She got him. But is it too late? Might have to get a dog CPR. You might have to first get him in the house. Put some heat on him. How come the other dog had the sense not to go in the water? Even through all of that, the dog had the sense not to go in the water. Why did that dog go in the water? But I give it to her. She got him. I don't know if he survived. But she got him. They didn't say whether the dog survived or not. Man.
Now to a developing story on a deadly street racing crash in Northwest Harris County. The man charged in connection to that crash appeared in court today. Andrew Mock is facing charges for the crash that killed three,
he like Dudley,
including 2 teenagers. KPRC2's Vincent Crivelli is live at the courthouse in downtown with the very latest. Vince, good morning.
Andy, good morning. Today's hearing was focused on Mock's bond amount and conditions. 22-year-old Andrew Mock is accused of causing a street racing collision which killed 3 innocent bystanders, 35-year-old Roger Glover, and 2 teenage brothers, 14-year-old Fabian Hoisington and 16-year-old DeCarrick Kennedy. Mock's attorney requested for his bond to be reduced from $80,000 to $15,000.
What?
However, the judge denied that request and added bail conditions if Mock does bond out. Those conditions include no driving, no drugs, no firearms, and a curfew with an ankle monitor. Mock is currently charged with 2 counts of manslaughter and 1 count of assault. Reporting live downtown, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC 2 News.
Vince, thank you.
$15,000 and he killed 3 people. He won a $15,000 bond. He killed 3 people. Thanks for the donation, NNC. I just saw it on the phone. Man won $13,000 bond. Yeah, I spelled it wrong. Did I spell it wrong? I think I spelled it wrong. I don't know if I would jump in the pool after Davy. Probably would, but I wouldn't be stupid enough to let her go out there in the pool. If you know you got dogs, you should have that pool. It should have a gate on it so that they can't fall into it. That's just common sense. If you got the money, if you have the money, I'm just saying, if you have the money to get that pool, and that was a nice place, why can't you put a gate up? Because guess what? A child could have slid in there. If nothing else, take your butt outside and shovel it if you don't want to put a fence up. You had almost a foot of snow that was a sheet of ice. You know. You say cats and dogs can swim. That wasn't swimming when she pulled him out there. I don't know if it was still alive. I'm being honest with you. I hope she got him in the house, got him warm, you know, pumped his stomach, performed some CPR. I know that sounds disgusting, but you won't think of it at that time. But if you know you got Doug's and you see that you got a foot of snow out there and it's ice, there was a sheet of ice on top. Why would you not go out there and shovel it at least? Why would you not go out there and shovel it? If you're not going to put a fence up, because suppose she had kids. Suppose some neighborhood kids had came into the yard and was playing. They could have slid in there too. The same way that Doug slid in there. He didn't go in there. He slid in there. That could have been a child. You could be facing murder. For those of you that are blessed with pools, please consider the neighborhood. Think of the kids in the neighborhood. Because anybody could have fell in there. It just happened to be a Doug. You notice that other Doug ain't stupid. The other Doug didn't go nowhere near it. Even when he followed the woman around, he stayed back. He said, I'm not going in there. And Doug said, I'm not going in there. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going in there. You know, that's not a funny situation, but I try to bring a little humor. All right, y'all. We saw this yesterday, and you know the video we saw didn't look good, but this looks much better and got details in it. So let's take a look. Let's just take a looky.
A band.
Mm-hmm.
Here on Local 10, the search for a gunman after a wild shootout happened on a busy road in southwest Miami-Dade.
2 teens were injured in the gunfire that was all caught on camera. Let's go now to Local 10 News reporter Annalise Garcia.
She's live at the scene with reaction from the witnesses. It sounds like a wild scene out there, Annalise.
All right, hold. Go back. Now, whoever hired these women, look at how similar they look. Look how similar they look. That's all I wanted to say.
Absolutely. It was definitely a wild scene, and witnesses tell us that they heard several shots in the middle of US 1. Now, police don't have much more information for us right now, but we do know that the surveillance video from the cafe at the same corner of this intersection where this all happened yesterday, the surveillance video from there is serving as the biggest piece of information for detectives right now. Tuesday around 5 p.m., a shootout on US 1 and 137th Avenue.
I actually heard like 10. It was like 10 gunshots.
Surveillance video caught.
Look at the gunshots coming out. Look at the.
Stop at the intersection of
Look at the, he got with the car again. That car backed up.
First shots are fired, striking a white BMW.
Look at him back up.
Then more shots fired. The doors of the sedan open. The SUV drives off. Witnesses nearby, nervous. One nearby car quickly drives off, jumping a curb.
I was just scared, like for the people that were out there.
Daisy Resendez, an employee at the nearby Hidalgo's Cafe, says the driver of that dark vehicle went to their restaurant to ask for help.
Well, I actually had customers in here, and a lady came running in and she was telling me what was happening and like to call 911.
Miami-Dade police say a 17-year-old and 16-year-old were both transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries as a result, and that there is still no word on the shooters. Our cameras captured the aftermath hours later. US 1 partially closed and investigators working the scene. Now, police tells us that this is all very preliminary and that if you have any information at all to contact Crime Stoppers, that number is 305.
Man, once again, 10 shots. Yeah, people still survived. I mean, it's a good thing, but man, it just says it's kids don't know how to shoot. Oh, I skipped some stuff. Hold on a second. We got more. All right. Now, this something. Did y'all know that 95 go all the way down to Miami? I didn't know that.
You have the right.
I thought this was in Maryland or Philly or New York somewhere. I didn't know 95 went that far.
Rollover crash that Janice was just telling us about. This is I-95 as it merges onto the Airport Expressway 836 westbound. A rollover wreck causing all lanes to be blocked. What a bottleneck nightmare this is, affecting not just I-95 south, but 195 going west. This is an area you want to avoid if possible, as police and emergency crews work to resolve this issue and hopefully treat that person involved in this accident. Again, a really bad rollover wreck blocking all lanes of traffic going from 95 south westbound to 836 west, the Dolphin Expressway. All lanes blocked. Avoid this area. We're going to keep watching this and bring you updates.
That truck took up 4 lanes, man. That truck took up 4 lanes. So 95 go almost through the whole United States on the East Coast. Cause I know it hits Connecticut. I know it hit New York. I think it hit Maine and Boston. Yeah, I think I-95 go all the way down. All right, here we go. Come on, Grandma. Grandma said, you ain't getting my stuff. Grandma said, hey, I'm holding on.
Of a violent attack at the 86th Street subway station in Gravesend, Brooklyn. It shows the suspect pulling the victim to the ground before a struggle ensued. Police say a 60-year-old woman was punched and kicked multiple times while the suspect tried to take her purse, but the victim held on tight. Investigators say they are now looking for her attacker, a woman who they believe changed her clothes at a nearby business after the attack.
And they know what she looked like. Let's show it again.
Surveillance video this morning of a violent attack at the 86th Street subway station in Gravesend, Brooklyn. It shows the suspect pulling the victim to the ground before a struggle ensued. Police say a 60-year-old woman was punched and kicked multiple times while the suspect tried to take her purse, but the victim held on tight. Investigators say they are now looking for her attacker, a woman who they believe changed her clothes at a nearby business after the attack.
That's a daggone shame. At least it was a woman that did it. Grandma said, you ain't getting my purse. we gonna have to go. Round and round, round we go. Well, round and round we go. You kicking and punching me, I still say no. Round and round we go. Oh, shit. Round and round, round we go. Well, round and round we go. Anybody know what song that's from? All right, let's get it.
To that breaking news, police on the scene at Hooper and South 5th Street, where that little boy's body was found earlier today. Investigators believe the child was struck and killed while trying to board his own school bus this morning.
Eyewitness News reporter Mike Marza live in Williamsburg with the very latest. Mike.
Now I said a
David,
compressed
it's just
community
heartbreaking, and in fact, the boy's brother had just boarded the bus. We just got an update from police 2 minutes ago. This is South 5th Street and Hooper Street here in Williamsburg, and I'll step out to show you the scene. They just removed an MTA bus. That bus was not involved in the accident, but came upon the scene just moments after all of this happened. Let's show you some video as we recorded it throughout the morning hours. This all developed just before 8:30. We're told 2 brothers, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, were preparing to board their full-size school bus when the 9-year-old brother was able to successfully get on board. The bus began to pull away, and that
No, we haven't watched World Star in a long time.
The school bus that continued. Police telling us at this point they don't believe the driver knew that the bus had hit that 6-year-old. They were able to stop the bus and are now interviewing that bus driver. Just a horrible scene out here as the boys lived on this block, or at least in this neighborhood. Hear from a father who talked about just how this is really hitting home for him this morning.
As soon as I saw the cops running out of the car, I had to turn away. I couldn't. When you have a kid, it's not a headline. It's like it's just so I don't know how the bus driver who physically saw the boy, how can he ever go to sleep again at night? It would haunt me the rest of my life.
And the driver of that school bus now cooperating with investigators, and at this point they don't believe that the bus driver knew that the bus had hit the boy, but there are a lot of surveillance cameras mounted on.
Woman saying, can I go home? Can me and my dad go home?
But the bottom
and she better go in the house too.
Killed by his own school bus here.
I don't see her going to staff school. Where's she at? She wearing them. Can me and my dad go in? Why don't you go around the back? I'm just saying. Probably too scared to go around the back. All right. Dude, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. I mean, seriously. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. This dude ought to be ashamed of himself.
There are new developments tonight in a frightening
You that hard up.
sexual assault. Police say they have the suspect in custody who targeted a woman in a bathroom at the Macy's in Century City. Alicia Reed is at police headquarters, and Alicia, police had a good look at this person on surveillance video.
Absolutely, Yuki. Now, they tell us this suspect has a very distinctive walk, which helped identify him. Now, although he hasn't confessed to the crime, they tell us they have recovered the clothes he was wearing the day of the assault. The suspect is identified as Jalil Ukda. Police say he was on a mission when he walked into Macy's Sunday morning.
He went into that store at 11:11. We know that's the time he entered the store. Within 3 minutes, he was in the bathroom.
The 22-year-old waited upwards of 20 minutes inside the third-floor women's restroom before his victim walked in. During the assault, authorities say he threatened to stab her and robbed her before taking off.
Then he went underground and took the Market Frankfurt L and got off at 52nd and Market Street. And from 52nd and Market Street, he took a bus to 52nd and Gerard Street.
Additional surveillance photos released late last night got tips flooding into police. One particular tip led police to his West Philly home on North 53rd Street, where a search warrant gave them access. Authorities tell us Ukda was surprised when police showed up, but was arrested without incident. In this case, it took a lot of effort and help from the public, Macy's, and SEPTA to locate their suspect.
It took a lot of work. We're very appreciative of that. You know, we always coordinate with them on all these shops.
Now, police intend to compare Ukda's DNA to other crimes in the city. For this incident, he's facing a slew of charges, including felony rape, aggravated assault, and robbery. Reporting live from police headquarters, Alicia Reed, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, I sure hope that nut was worth it. Because you're going to be locked up for a while, son. I hope it was worth it. I hope you in there with Bubba, trying not to toss nobody's salad. I hope it was worth it. All right, y'all, this is crazy right here. This is one of the good things about living on the second floor. This ain't going to happen. Unless somebody jump a car or something. I'm not going to have to deal with this. But this is crazy. Let's get it.
A terrifying close call caught on camera. A car plowing right into a home in Pembroke Pines. Check out this surveillance video. It shows the SUV slamming right into the home Saturday afternoon.
Wait a minute. Back it up.
Surveillance video.
Hold on. Back it up.
Car plowing right into a home in Pembroke Pines. Check out this surveillance video. Check out this surveillance video. Check out this surveillance. Check out this. Check out this.
Let me stop.
Slamming right into the home Saturday afternoon on Southwest 13th.
Look at him. Look at that idiot.
Her son says he crashed into his 17-year-old sister's room. Luckily, she had just left to go to the restroom at the time of the wreck. The son also tells us his mother was thrown from the couch because of the impact, suffering cuts and bruises.
It was something like out of a movie, like just seeing her fly over we have a coffee table, and like she flew over the coffee table. Your mind is like all over the place, you know. I'm trying to make sure the driver is good. Like I'm like, yo, are you good? Are you good? He's like, oh, I don't have a license. I don't have a license. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a license?
Well, police say that teenage driver would be charged with a traffic offense.
Idiot. That's what he is. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. No common sense at all. No common sense at all. Steal a car and can't even drive. Ain't you supposed to learn how to drive first? That was my last video. Give me a second. All right. So we're going to have to go in, and it's my fault. 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 Uh-oh, bicyclists. Come on now.
Breaking right now, a SEPTA bus struck and killed a cyclist in northeast Philadelphia tonight. It happened on Frankfurt Avenue near Knights Road. Police say the man was hit around 7:30. He died from his injuries at Jefferson Torresdale Hospital. This deadly accident is under investigation.
I'm going to tell y'all, and I see it. We're going to look at this next. I'm going to tell y'all because I see it. Y'all know what's going to happen, right? I don't know if y'all ever watch people that ride their bikes and film it for YouTube. People on bikes do stupid stuff. And I'm going to tell you, I'm on the road, I see it. I see them riding beside cars instead of staying behind them in line. They try to squeeze in between two cars that's sitting at a red light, or they try to squeeze along the curb. You don't know when the car is going to go right. A semi can't see you. A bus can't see you. A box truck can't see you. Why do they do this? It only takes driver error to head to the right. You could be messing, trying to do your makeup and go to the right. You could be have your coffee and jostle it and go to the right or left, and bam, you in here the driver on a bicycle. So why do they ride in between? I don't do it. I stay behind them. If I'm acting as a vehicle, I'm going to stay one to a lane. I'm not going to assume the other driver can see me. But you got young people, they think they invincible. They think nothing never happened to them. But y'all have seen me wait. You see me stop and wait several times, let everybody go where they got to go, so I can go. But I see them darting in and out between cars, and I'm saying to myself, that's an accident waiting to happen, and somebody going to get killed. And it's going to be somebody that's famous, and that's when it's going to become big news. Because right now, don't nobody care, because there wasn't nobody special. But let it have been a celebrity. They'd be crying, we got to do something about this. It's sad. And like I said, it messes up people like me who use that for transportation. Young idiots are going to mess it up the same way that y'all driving y'all cars, young teen drivers, and got the insurance all high and got all these new laws and stuff. It's all because of dumb young folk that take chances. Like that idiot we just saw driving to somebody's house. Young, dumb folk. And it's sad and sickening. And what we going to do about it? Now, let's get it. 5 hours ago, breaking news.
With mint, rose.
And I know we covered these stories, so don't tell me we didn't. I know we covered them. I know we covered these stories, so let's get it. Let's get it. Come on.
We have an update tonight. The Brooklyn District Attorney has charged a man in a 52-count indictment.
52
targeting women in Brooklyn. Kerry Covington was arrested on January 5th, a day after allegedly attacking a woman inside a smoke shop in East Williamsburg. Prosecutors say the 29-year-old attacked 5 other women at the Morgan Avenue subway station and another woman inside a building. Investigators say Covington chose his victims because they were women and light-skinned.
So to all you women, make sure you got your brass knuckles. Make sure you got your wasp spray. Whatever you use, make sure you got it. Because there ain't no excuse. There ain't no excuse. That's 2 days ago. They ain't worth looking at. This guy still clickbaiting. He been saying all week that it's on the way. And now he's still saying update. Man. We already saw that. We already saw that. 6 hours ago, breaking news, breaking news.
Officers who responded to the 911
Breaking
call
news.
found a naked man who'd been shot.
And it turns out one of the people who called them was the same person who shot that naked man. Since Terrell Fournette is live with reaction from some really shocked residents.
Yeah, I shot him.
Of Pembroke Road have
Get that man out of my neighborhood.
And just within the past few minutes, detectives have actually wrapped up their work here at 6840 Pembroke Road. Their focus for much of the day was the atrium area of this apartment complex where those shots were fired. The heavily armed officers raced to this Pembroke Pines neighborhood just before 9 this morning.
They were banging on windows.
Police were originally called to the area after getting reports of a naked man spotted walking the street.
During that time, an additional call was received to 911 that a shot had been heard in the area coming from a nearby building.
That building was the Sunshine Garden Apartments, where cops found the man without clothes, critically injured and bleeding from a gunshot wound following some sort of a dispute.
We heard an argument, and then after the argument, heard some gunshots. So, no, it's not 4th of July, so we just hit the floor and try to stay out of the way. Just one loud voice and then 3 distinctive shots.
But arriving officers found no immediate sign of a gun or a shooter, which prompted police to switch into a defensive mode.
There's plenty of guns. Now they just brought in the dogs. So it's just interesting to see what's really going on.
Shortly thereafter, an additional call was made to 911 by the alleged shooter, who was wanting to surrender himself to police.
Detectives were seen questioning this man, but at this point, it's unclear how he's tied to the incident. As investigators,
We know how he tied.
A 2-vehicle crash happened right out front by a driver likely distracted by the police activity. One woman was injured in the collision and taken to the hospital, unrelated to the shooting and strange set of circumstances that led up to it all.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully, he's okay.
And that man in the nude, we're told by neighbors, was banging on several of the doors in this complex, trying to get inside of some of the units before this gunfire happened. In the meantime, we know that that shooting victim is now recovering in critical condition at Memorial Regional Hospital, and detectives, at last check, they were still interviewing the person who pulled the trigger. That person was being detained, but no charges have been filed. Reporting live from Pembroke Pines, I'm Terrell Fournette, Local 10 News.
Well, thank you. We have
That was a lover's spat. That was a lover's quarrel.
officers who responded.
You know, I don't got no clothes on. Show me some news. We saw that already. It's only 48 seconds. We can check it out. You don't give us a commercial on 38-second video. Really? Really?
Being involved in the 133 vehicle pileup on Interstate 35 in Fort Worth, one North Texan crawled out of his totaled vehicle and immediately started helping victims in other vehicles. MedStar paramedic Trey McDaniel was on his way to work when he got caught up in the crash on icy roads the
Look at
morning
that.
of February 11th. And after hearing about his heroic efforts, Toyota Motor North America decided to replace his totaled 2011 Toyota FJ Cruiser with a 2021 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. They're also handing over the keys for that tomorrow. There is an ongoing investigation into the cause of this wreck. The victims' families asking for answers on how the roads were treated for the freezing temperatures, ice, and also snow. Katie Johnston for CBS 11 News.
Don't know, because everybody was heading down to Cancun. Everybody was Cancuning. Did we see this story? That dude look familiar to me.
A crime tracker alert tonight. A teenager accused of robbery and road rage is now under arrest, and police say cameras were rolling when he pulled out a gun and shot at a pickup truck in the next lane. Metro Police say this happened just before 7 this morning on Nolensville Pike. After a confrontation in a nearby Walmart parking lot, police say the suspect in the Toyota Yaris on the right shot at the pickup on the left. The pickup took off. One of the people inside has a gunshot wound to their hand. Now, police say 19-year-old Tyler Al-Shamari then robbed a man at gunpoint in South Nashville. They say he took the man's wallet and phone. Police were able to track the phone and found Al-Shamari at a barbershop. A gun was also found in his car.
Well, that's why you got a nice haircut.
Facing aggravated robbery, burglary, and aggravated assault charges. They are also looking at him for other crimes in South Nashville.
Hey, he said, I'm going to jail. I want to look good. I'm going to jail. I want to look good for Bubba. He said he wants to look good for Bubba and the other guys in the prison. He wants to look good. We already saw that. One hour ago, breaking news. Wait. Was that body cam video? 6 days ago. Damn. I Gary say, you know, body cam video get first. Body cam video get first Trump.
Edwards, unexplained car fires in the back, bullets flying in the front. A landlord and his tenants have a simple request: make it stop. Only on 2 CBS News, Vermont, Terry on the curious response from police to all this mayhem.
This 8-unit apartment building sits on Kissington in West Pullman. And since the new owner purchased it last fall, this scene of charged vehicles out back keeps playing out.
They made me lose my car. I couldn't get to work.
Tarlise Beard lived in the building for 1 month. Take a look at why she moved. Her car was the first to catch fire while parked in December.
It's crazy. That's why I left. I feared for my life.
Someone set her car on fire twice. The first time,
It didn't burn fully. It just burnt the interior and the back seats.
yet days later, they finished the job. She believes she was targeted by a gang for one reason.
The game going on around there, that they don't like blacks around.
I didn't know whether it was race related. I didn't think that at all. I'm thinking it was maybe something personal.
But now property owner Michael Taylor insisting this is not isolated.
It's just a small group of people who are trying to send a message.
Exactly what the message is isn't clear, but different tenants keep waking up to find their cars torched. These two vehicles damaged over the weekend. And listen to why Taylor insisting the gang is to blame after a recent armed robbery.
And robbing a young man and asking him what his gang affiliation was, and some of the words that I was told was being exchanged about you guys not welcome here and all that kind of thing. And then the next day, 2 more cars are set on fire. You know, that makes me add two together and says, okay, there's some racial tensions here.
Police are investigating that armed robbery and shooting, but they will not say if the torched cars are connected. Meanwhile, fear is setting in.
The safety of my tenants has to be paramount.
Now, CPD telling us that they have no reason to believe that someone intentionally set the cars on fire. But Taylor says it's beyond a coincidence that cars only in his parking lots are getting torched. Tonight, he's working to get security cameras that will be linked directly with CPD's camera initiative. Live in the street side studio tonight, Jermont Terry. Brad, back to you.
All right, Jermont, our thanks.
No, I have to say, now see, I wasn't going to play that because it looked weak and it wound up being a decent story. You never know. You never know. You never know. 7 years ago, we saw that already. I don't remember doing this show. Wait a minute.
Police and Child Protective Services are scrambling to explain why multiple men who sexually abused a 10-year-old girl remain free tonight, even though they know who they are.
CBS 2 investigator Dave Savini reveals how the system failed to protect the little girl despite years of warnings and calls for help.
Beyond the fencing, up on the top floor of the Grand Motel, is room 324.
We have no idea what type of ugly things he did to her in that room.
A 10-year-old girl, not even out of elementary school yet, was taken here by a 47-year-old man from her neighborhood, sexually exploited.
Who takes a little girl like that to a motel?
A dog, a predator, a very, very sick person.
Hello? We went to the motel trying to find answers. No one would talk about it, but the CBS 2 investigators obtained police records showing motel staff called 911 and told officers the man's name and date he checked in with her. It's been 4 months since it happened and still no arrest.
Why wasn't he locked up? That needs to be answered. Why did they not lock that man up?
Brenda Myers Powell was appointed to the U.S. Advisory Council on Human Trafficking last year. She represents Illinois.
What does it do to you to hear cases like this?
It just made me sick.
Police reports reveal for nearly half the little girl's life, from age 7 to 10, she was sexually assaulted by at least 5 different men, including men in their 40s and 50s. The Department of Children and Family Services was alerted to these and other abuses dating back to 2016. Numerous reports called into the abuse hotline, including calls from her school. Despite all this, the little girl was never placed in protective custody. Instead, the abuse continued until she was finally found at this motel in October.
Is this the kind of human tragedy that you would bring to this committee and say, we need to look at why this happened to this little girl?
Yes, it is. And I intend to.
DCFS refused to say anything about the pattern of abuse this child endured. But through police reports we obtained through a public records request, we were able to piece together a tale of systemic failure that let her down, how none of her abusers were ever charged, and how Child Protective Services failed to get her the help she needed to escape a world of horrifying child exploitation. In fact, just days before she ended up at this motel, police had another one of her alleged abusers in their grasp. He too is accused of taking her to a motel. He too was also never arrested. All of the men who have allegedly abused her have never even been arrested.
Nope.
Yet she remained in that environment.
Yeah, this whole time.
Cook County Public Guardian Charles Goldberg has spent 30 years working to protect abused children. It is his job to challenge DCFS when they fail.
I've seen a lot this has to be one of the very worst cases. It's disgusting.
He confirms it wasn't until workers at the Grand Motel called 911 last October that DCFS finally went before a Cook County judge to get approval to move the girl into the custody of a state-funded protective care program.
DCFS commonly leaves kids in very dangerous situations where they continue to be abused instead of bringing cases to court and rescuing children. This case illustrates that.
And he says because she didn't get help sooner when the abuse first started, things got drastically worse.
And so now a judge is really mad at DCFS, A, for not doing anything for 4 years, but B, because DCFS says they have nowhere to place her because her emotional problems are so advanced.
DCFS ended up placing her in a psychiatric hospital in December. By mid-January, she was finally cleared to be released to a residential care facility. It's now been more than a month since she should have been transferred. Instead, she still remains locked up inside a psychiatric ward.
This girl has been in a locked psychiatric hospital for a month after she's been ready for discharge because DCFS has nowhere to place her, a long-standing problem.
What kind of life do children like her live in these psychiatric facilities?
It's horrible. You're locked up indoors all day. They get about 1 hour of outdoor recreation every day. They lose schooling.
And while she remains locked up, her abusers remain free.
And when investigators from DCFS or the police department don't do anything to the offenders, that tells the little girl or person who's being abused that
says I'm the garbage that the men who abused me said I was. That says that I don't matter. And the world just showed me I don't matter because I'm locked in a box.
Just yesterday, DCFS admitted in court they couldn't even find their own case report showing what, if anything, they did to help this child back when she was first assaulted at the age of 7. We've also learned when police found her at the Grand Motel back in October, they simply took her home instead of a hospital to be examined. Because of our investigation, CPD promises a thorough review into how their own department handled the abuse cases involving this child. Dave Savini, CBS 2 Investigators.
Right there on Shane. No help. No help for the children. That would make a good video for somebody to tackle, I think. I think that would make a good video for somebody to tackle. All right, y'all. Time to get to the CV numbers. It's getting late. It's 12:54. I'll let y'all go. I apologize for